Hi everyone, this is Katie Reed, the producer behind the short film Visitors, and I am here with our lovely cast of actors, and I will let them introduce themselves. So guys, if you'd like to share with us your name and who you played in Visitors.
Hi, I'm Megan Tiller and I played the role of Briar.
I'm Connor Sink and I played the role of Hoyt.
I'm Summer O'Donnell and I played Jen.
My name is Noah Castillo. I play Mike in this short film.
Well, guys, I'm so excited to have you all reunited here. This has been so fun to see your guys' lovely faces again. I think I first want to start off with who you played, what you kind of approached the project with in terms of any experience that you've had in the past and what the preparation phase was like.
My background is primarily in theater. I really don't have very much experience. Well, now I do in film. I've done like a little bit of background work, but this was the first time I'd ever done like any major stuff. So I didn't really know how to approach it from like a film perspective, but my background in theater, I really just took to the text and asked Fisher like a bajillion questions, asked Jana a bajillion questions. And just went in there and tried to do it.
My background is similar to the rest of these guys in musical theater, and I haven't really done a whole lot of on-camera acting before this. I heard about this through Jana, the writer, and she had pitched me this idea a long time ago, and I was like, that sounds so fun, so cool, and you know, what a fun experience that would be to just get a bunch of us and make something spooky out in the woods.
I liked the script. There were a couple of scenes or lines of dialogue that I liked enough that I would like just repeat them in my head. But other than that, it was kind of just seeing how the story played out and trying to see how the character would develop throughout the 20 minutes of the short, and kind of just went from there.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I'm kind of also in the same boat. I'm theater background, like haven't done a ton of TV and film, like little one-off things like this, but this is my first actual like real production that I was a part of, which is really fun. I think, at least with my character, it was helpful that I feel like every step of the way, she's like, what is happening? Because like she's just warped into just all these different places, and I kind of felt similarly. And so I guess when I first got the script, I did my given circumstances, I knew where I was, and I knew my lines, and I came in as prepared as I could, and then was just, you know, open-minded and try to, every time it was like, okay, now I'm outside. I'm like, great, I'm outside, and what would that be like if I was outside? So every step of the way, I think I was just as confused as Briar. You know what I mean? We're just here. We're here making stuff. You know what I mean?
Megan was an absolute trooper during the shoot too. She's like, hey, we're gonna throw you off a roof. And she's like, okay,
Yeah, sweet.
yeah. And you're like, who's gonna, and we're gonna catch you. And you're like, all right, cool. Like, now you're running through the woods. She's like,
Okay, you're gonna run through the woods and platform.
In platform. Oh my gosh, the
Yes.
slippers. Those slippers.
Okay, sure.
Like, okay, yeah.
It's like, great, let's get your foot stuck in this slipper. I don't know, like I thought on that. It was fun. It was fun.
The biggest learning curve for me was just like how film is filmed. And in theater, like traditionally you start blocking from page one and you block in order from beginning to end, and in film that's not the case. And so an already very complex, a little confusing story that doesn't have a lot of answers becomes even more confusing when you're like, okay, and now we're starting with the very last scene, and then you're gonna jump to the middle.
Yes.
But in not even like scenes themselves, but also shots are out of order.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like scene 29, which was our largest scene, and had like, I don't know, 23 or 24 different shots, like really just having to lean on Fisher and be like, okay, which way do I turn? And like my character was very central in the shot, and so it was kind of all revolving around me, Jen's character. And so yeah, I'd be like, Jen, Fish, which way do I turn? Which way do I go? It's like, okay, this is the one where I stand here and I turn over my right shoulder and I'm scared. Okay. And what are my given circumstances here? Okay, and go. So I just have to like break down every little minute shot and like try to find my journey within a shot, which is like so different than like in theater finding your journey.
The order was like quarterback, boyfriend, like what was like Horace was the big one.
The way that we were able to structure it to make it make sense most was yeah, we had to use letters, and then in order to remember it, we just made words out of the letters.
Like, quarterback girlfriend time. And we're like, yeah, you find your sticker. Stand on your sticker.
And I remember the floor where we did that scene was just layered with tape.
So much
So you'd
tape,
be like,
so
you
much
find it was color coded. So like I was blue, so I'd look for seeing Q, I'm blue, and I'd find my blue piece of tape, and you'd go stand there, and then when that ended, you had to find the other piece. It was just
And to layer on top, it's like 2:30 in the morning.
Right.
Like that's the start. It's like it's 2:30 in the morning. We worked all day. Now we're here,
Brain
and
is
now
mushy.
we don't even know.
Quarterback boyfriend.
And in that scene specifically, like, didn't have a lot of text, so it was all movement.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was like,
I know you guys mentioned briefly earlier all of the stunts that Megan
my
had
gosh.
to do. Briefly, yeah, just a couple.
Yeah, just a couple. My favorite was like the very first day we got there, and I knew that I was gonna have to like fall off the roof. Something was gonna happen with the roof. We knew that was gonna happen because I have to break my ankle. And I was like, great. And they were like, it's like a little porch roof, and you're just gonna fall on the porch, we're gonna catch you. I was like, amazing. Yeah, sounds great. And I was like, just saying yes, because like, what else am I gonna do, right? Like, I was just like, I'm gonna say yes. Like, I'm gonna do it.
Had you had any stunting experience
I mean,
before?
like stage combat, if you would consider that stunt work, sure.
Potentially.
Yeah, for sure. And I've never fallen off a roof before.
Now you have. You can add that to that resume.
Yeah. And I remember like first day we got there, we were mapping things out. And then I think I called my boyfriend and I was like, yeah, so this is gonna happen and we're doing this. And he's like, one more time, you're falling off a roof? And I was like, yeah, but they're gonna put like a thing down, they're gonna catch me, it's not that far, it's gonna be, and he's like, okay, just be careful, like, I don't know. And then I got up on the roof and I was like, oh, we're gonna have to be creative on how we do this. And so I think I'm really pleased with kind of how it turned out to be. And then I remember falling like backwards and having everyone catch me, and by probably like the 8th time we did it, they're like, you're getting a little too comfortable. Like you're really throwing your body, and we need you to be a little more safe. Because I'm like,
Well,
You and I were catching.
So it was Katie and Bailey and then me, and then by the last take, you were like jumping.
Yeah.
It was one of those, it went from falling to being like, here we go.
it's trust. It's trust. It's trust.
Yeah, and I know, Summer, you kind of already touched on the differences and what you had to readjust in your approach going from theater to film, but what would you guys say is something that, the biggest lesson that you learned, what you've taken away from this experience so far?
ultimately, this like brought a new layer of appreciation onto film. I've always loved film and watched film, but especially watching the crew behind the scenes and like the intention and thought process and like little details that go into making something like this. Like I've always kind of had a perspective from the actor, but getting to see everything behind the scenes was so cool, especially hearing like these side conversations that were happening between the director and the gaffer and the cinematographer and like problem solving, and just I love just being in the corner and listening to all the creative problem solving and teamwork that went into creating this. So I'm excited to see it tonight.
I think something that I took away from this whole process was it takes a lot to make something like this. And whenever you're watching this, you'll see it and you're like, okay, it's, like another short film that may be submitted to festivals and other short films will be there. And whether it wins or not, time will tell. But I think like being in this has made me see like there's so many moving parts to all of this, and these people are like all doing it for free. And so they must be passionate enough about this to like give it a shot and to try. And I think that that's something that really fuels me as an artist and as a creative, is recognizing that I probably I might not get paid for this. I might not, become famous for this. I might not, whatever. But if I'm really that passionate about it, I'm going to keep going. And hopefully I'll find other people that want to keep going too, want to come alongside the journey and the vision. And that's what happened.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for talking more about this short. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. It's going to be so much fun. Thank you for tuning in to our Q&A with our cast. Please also check out our Q&As with our director, Emily Fisher, or writer, Jana Lowry, or post-production supervisor, Jana Lowry. Thank you.